Good morning. Well, it's not that early, but so I moved places and can't show you too much more. But I didn't realize I thought this had a plug-in. I just assumed, and I didn't research it, and it doesn't. No, it doesn't even have a fire pit. But I have this. It's called a notebook um, barbecue. And so anyway, so last night, I know for some of you this, they will not, nobody will cry me a river, but I had no heat last night, no lights. And I think the, I'm not sure, but I think maybe not having lights is even more inconvenient than not having the heat because I have a zillion blankets. Though, um, it's the getting up in the morning. That's the rough part. Um, so I made dinner on here last night, and it was delicious. It was the most delicious top ramen I'd ever had, and it wasn't because I didn't boil water to make the top ramen. What I did was I made stir fry vegetables, and and then I put in a little bit of water and threw in the ramen noodles, um, and then threw in some shrimp. It was shrimp top ramen, and it was absolutely delicious. Um, Most of the water was evaporated, and it was just noodles and vegetables with a shrimpy flavor, and and so that was good. And there's a stack of firewood which I just discovered this morning. Also, should have researched that. So I'm gonna have me a big honkin' fire tonight, if only for heat and a cup of tea. Now there is a grill that goes over this, and I don't know where it is. I wish. I just. So many things are scattered, and there's things right now I can't find. I can't find my deodorant. I can't find. I can't remember what else it is, but there's a couple of things, just little things. Oh yeah. Um, I am a female. I am a woman. I I was born that way. I've been that way my whole entire life. I've never taken any male hormones of any nature whatsoever, ever. But I have a facial hair chronic problem, and essentially, I'm just gonna lay it out there for you. I'll grow a beard. I mean, it's it's not like ZZ Top kind of beard, but uh, but there's something going on there, and it ain't purty. Um, it's embarrassing, and I don't want anybody to see me that way, and I need to find. Actually, it's the same bag that I need both my deodorant and my what's called an epilator, which it's not a it's not a shaver. It's a though I used to use one. It's a it pulls the hairs out on the face by the roots or wherever. I also use it on my legs during the summer. Um, yeah, and it's supposed to stunt the growth by yanking the hairs out by the roots. Um, no, I am not showing you my face today because I don't feel pretty. I have not epilated in too many days, and I have not shampooed in too many days, and I have not showered in too many days. But I'm gonna do, I'll tell you what though, with the stuff that I've been going through, I got some material to make some videos, I'll tell you that. Um, there are several different ways to clean oneself when one is a nomad on the road, and different levels. And I would say when you're kind of in a hurry to get going for your day and you don't have access to a shower, you cannot take one. An alternative is on day one, just like the day before you shampooed and you showered and all that. I could just handle a day, just change my underwear. You just use wet wipes, maybe get the pits. Now, here the key areas, the obvious area, and then the pits, and underneath, if you're a woman, underneath one's bosom. And another key area to clean with the wet wipes is the navel, the belly button. That seems to gather, even overnight, gathers BO. So a person can easily get by on day one without a shower just by hitting those main areas. I know this is gross, and if you don't want to hear about this, then you're probably not going to watch my channel anyway if you watch Nomads. But that's a good day one cleanup. And then, if it's been a few days, one could do from head to toe with those wet wipes. Or I just discovered a new way. The preferable way to bathe without a shower is to heat up a pan of water. And then I also discovered something else it's something that I've had for a long time. It's Cetaphil cleansing wash or something to that effect. Anyway, it is Cetaphil. There are generic brands that are cheaper, and they're the same. It's just as good as the Cetaphil. But anyway, it's that kind of wash, and it's good for sensitive skin and baby skin. I think it comes in sensitive version, but anyway, the regular version is sensitive enough for me. That doesn't have to be rinsed off really well if you don't want to. If you can't, it's not that big of a deal. So it's actually the perfect soap for, putting a little bit in a pan of boiling water and then washing down with a washcloth from head to toe in that order. And so that's the most ideal way to wash without a shower. And then, of course, anybody can shampoo their hair outside. You just pour a bucket of water over your head, you shampoo, and then you pour another bucket of water over your head. Oh, voila. Boy, that was difficult, wasn't it? Yeah, I even did that years ago when we were camping in kind of a more primitive campsite uh, back in the day. Um, but just get a new way, kind of a quicker, easier way, like when you don't have a pan at your access, like if you're anything like me and you're kind of, you can't find something, you can't find a decent bowl to wash in right now because everything is scattered all over the place. In my efforts to organize, which I did, got a bunch of stuff, put them in bins, and they're all stacked up neatly in my trailer, and now I can't find stuff. That wasn't helpful, was it? I thought it was. Anyway, so if you just heated some water for coffee or tea or something, just pour a little bit of that hot water into a washcloth, and then if you carry those spray bottles around, I fill one up with wintergreen rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Sometimes I dilute it with water, and you spray. And then, so if the washcloth is too hot from the hot water you poured on it, then spray it with a little bit of that wintergreen isopropyl alcohol, and then breathe out. When you start with your face, the first thing you wash is your face. Breathe out while you're doing that so you're not breathing in too many of the vapors. Apparently that's not really healthy to breathe that in. So I learned that 'cause I don't like breathing that stuff. So start with the face and then work your way down. And um, so if you don't have the bowl of hot water, then uh, just pour a little more water on there, and then you wipe down an arm, and then you pour a little bit more water, and then you get your back and your neck, and you pour a little more water, a little more, a few more sprays of the alcohol, and just do it like that. That's kind of a lazy, quick way of doing it, rather than taking the time. It depends on what kind of time you have, what kind of resources you have at the time. Um, but that's a quicker way to do it, and I've done that a few times now. Like when I'm in a hurry, or like if I can't find a pan to boil water, or don't. Anyway, um, yeah. So this was a surprise. Did get cold last night, but as I said, I had so many blankets, I had to take some of them off, um, and put them on the floor because I can't because it was too hot with all the blankets. So I'm well prepared for. Of course, it isn't that cold right now. I'm sitting outside in my long winter coat, and I'm getting ready to take it off because it's getting a little bit warm. I also can't find my other coat, my short coat, and my jackets. Anyway, what happens is what I need to do is go back into my bins and get whatever it is that I put away and organized, and get them out so that I can actually use them. That was the idea. So I need a sip of coffee. It's going to get cold. It's already tepid, lukewarm. I don't have a microwave. So, um, yeah, I got surprised, and but the day before, yesterday, where I came from, I was at a harvest host, and I had hookups and water. It was great. I got to confess, I like being hooked up. Um, I really don't like doing boondocking this time of year, or even colder, even in another month or two. Definitely not. No, I like my heat. I like my lights, but I honestly think the lights is even more than the heat. Um, because of the inconvenience of it. Because if I want to look for something, and all you have is, and I don't, and that was another thing I was unprepared for more than anything was, see, about a year ago, I bought a whole bunch of battery operated lights, right? Well, what happens eventually? All the batteries die. And then what? Then what you got? Um, Sure was nice to have the old butane stove, though. I can tell you this, and this is what I used when I went to Quartzsite. This old coffee pot, old-fashioned coffee pot. Um, Fill it with water, but it took forever and a day, I tell you, because I have this heat water kettle. It takes, I mean, like, what, a minute? I don't know how long, but it's really, really fast in heating up water. Most of the time, when I start the water kettle, I can't even get my coffee mug preparation completed before the water is ready to go. Yeah, and what that means is I put creamer in the bottom of the cup. Um, I use two different kinds of creamers. I use half and half, and then I use the powdered